What would happen if Nanahoshi of Mushoku Tensei reincarnated into another world, but she actually had powers this time? It's kind of the feeling you get with Yumiella from the Villainess level 99. I may be the hidden boss, but I'm not the Demon Lord. Now, admittedly, yes, I stole that joke from one of my mods, but it technically does sort of fit with this particular story. Is that idea of somebody being reincarnated into the world, and yes, technically, like most villainous type stories, stay away from everybody, don't get involved, get the hell out of there, but kind of doing it in a way that I kind of feel Nanahoshi in her, that sense of like, I don't give an F, like, just leave me alone, yeah, whatever, everybody's being drama queens, and she's just like, I don't care. I don't really. Get away from me kind of thing. But yes, I've watched the first 2 episodes of Villainous level 99, and so far, I'm actually really enjoying it. Now, to be fair, I am getting more and more kind of strict about what I kind of want from a villainous type of isekai story. We've gotten so many of them that I kind of want them to do something that really does punch me and make me realize, oh, you're doing something different. And I do have a sense of that with Villainous level 99. This is a villainous isekai that I think is actually doing something. And yes, granted, even though it's called Villainous level 99, I don't necessarily think it's the case so far that she is even the villainess. I think even the classified character that is the villainess is somebody else. In actuality, like the title leads you believe, she's the hidden boss, not necessarily the main storyline's villainess. But there's a side of me that kind of believes that she might become the villainous character, but I'll get into that with more with my thoughts on it. But let's jump into the synopsis first. Villainous level 99 opens up at first from the very beginning from the perspective of the heroine of the actual story itself, which is Light Magic and the Healer. This is an otome game where Alicia, the main character, is a commoner. Like usual, she gets invited to this Royal Academy because she has the special ability of light magic, which is very rare. In this world, you have like earth and fire and wind, all that kind of stuff. But then you have these 2 very rare elements, which is dark and light. And she has a light ability. And as we kind of see from the principal later on, this is an ability that they're going to need to defeat the Demon Lord one day. So they have to nurture her. They have to make sure to take care of her, even though some people treat her like garbage. But no, she arrives at the actual academy itself. Actually, first she gets sidetracked because she helps some old lady, which kind of shows that she's just too pure. Helps some old lady, ends up late getting there, has to take this side route, and through this whole ordeal, she's meeting each and every single one of the male love interests, which we have like the son of a general that's been training since he was young, and he's level 10, which is shocking to everybody because most everybody's like 1 or 2. Then you have like the prince of the entire kingdom over here. He's super nice. Then you have Oswald, who is like this like genius mage. You have the 3 love interests that she kind of bumps into throughout that entire time. After we've kind of introduced all of them, we get to the opening ceremony, and everybody's going to have to do their test to find out what level they are. That's when we shift to the perspective of Yumiella, who is actually the main character of this story. But yeah, Yumiella is somebody that when she was 5 years old, she suddenly awakened to her past life. She used to be in our world. At some point, she got hit by a truck, yada, yada, yada. She gets transported to this world. She did play the otome game that she's actually transported in. So when she arrives there, she immediately does some, research, finds out, yeah, this is that world. What am I going to do kind of thing? But the interesting thing that kind of happens right here in this part of the story is we get this sense already of something that I typically like in these types of stories. This moment of kind of getting into, oh, so this is why they're a bad guy. Oh, so this is why they are the way they are. Sort of showing that there is something more than them just being a villain. It's showing why they were the villain. And yes, that's the idea that Yumiella, or at least the girl that was in this world that she took over, there was a lot of prejudice against her because she simply had black hair. Because back in the day, when you had this point in which the Empire was created, it was created by these 2 individuals, this saint and this hero, that defeated the Demon Lord. And the Demon Lord had black hair. And so everybody sees black hair as evil, and they don't like it. They judge a person based on it. So even her maids in the place that she's living, which is separate from her family, which her family's living in the capital and just like leaving her there, they even look at her with like fear and whatnot. And so she kind of goes, okay, so I'm in this world. I just need to avoid the whole story whatsoever. That way I can just leave peacefully. Eventually, the heroine, she'll defeat the Demon Lord, and I won't be there as the hidden boss. Because the hidden boss, who Yumiella is, or Yumiella, I keep saying Yumiella, Yumiella what she was in the game itself was she was a hidden boss. Something that you had to trigger to happen, and after you defeat the Demon Lord, she would appear, and then she would have to defeat her. So as long as she doesn't get involved, she's fine. And she'll just hope that she'll beat that, and we'll be all good. But she still has this gamer side of her, so at some point she goes out and defeats... She decides, you know, look, just in case, I'll level up myself. In case I need to defeat the Demon Lord for her. So she goes out every day and pretty much gets all that gamer in her that she wants to grind levels and everything, and she ends up just defeating a bunch of monsters. But then cut forward to the opening ceremony, and again, she's trying to avoid everybody. Again, still seeing that people are judging her based on her hair. She goes up there, tests her level, and she is level 99. Now here's where the problems already start for her wanting to keep her head low. Is now suddenly everybody believes that she's lying. She cheated. Even though they brought another crystal out and said, you know, still says 99, everybody believes she's lying. Like, even in the game itself, you need level 70 to defeat the Demon Lord. Most people, and again, like with William, he trained ever since he was young, only level 10. This is an achievement. This is something that's unheard of. And yeah, so she's like, yeah, it's technically true. I believe it's true because, again, she was going into dungeons and killing bosses and stuff like that solo her entire childhood. So yes, it kind of turns this whole thing where everybody looks at her in disgust, thinks she's a cheater and all this kind of stuff. Everybody just has disdain for her. But it's fine. Again, she's going to keep her head low, goes to class, people are whispering about her, and she's just avoiding all the main characters. Well, after this kind of little party, you have Edwin, William, and Oswald, the three main guys. They're all trying to confront her because William trained his whole life and she just discounted all that work. And she keeps pushing them back to Alicia. Oh, there's this girl over here with light magic. It looks like she's in distress. Go help her out. And they all kind of march off. And then that kind of cuts to going to different classes. They go to a sword training class where William confronts her to duel against her, and she beats the fire out of him, not even trying. She actually tries not to kill him. She's like, how do I fight him without killing him? Because I can literally blow him up just by hitting him with the stick. Then you have this whole situation where she goes to the magic class where she uses, was it Hell Flame or something like that? And it melts this target that literally, like, the royal court guards have trouble destroying. She just throws this little fireball at it and it just melts the whole thing. But that's when the prince shows up. The prince shows up with the principal and has paperwork, and he's like, I got her. I got the expulsion papers ready. You lied about your level, so we're going to kick you out of here. And even the principal's like, yeah, if you get kicked out of here, you've been lying to this whole level system, it's a good chance you're probably not even going to be able to be a noble or even be able to stay in this kingdom. Like, her entire family is going to be ruined. Her response to it, which I love, is literally, yeah, I guess I could just go to another kingdom. I guess that would be fine. Like, she doesn't care. The prince is over there looking all high and mighty, like, I got her. And she's just like, so yeah, which kingdom can I go to? That's fine. But no, the principal's like, yeah, you got to figure something out. The teacher is like, wait, no, we cannot let this girl go. Like, she legit is incredible. Everybody's fearful of the whole shadow magic or dark magic thing, but she kind of speaks up and says, don't see prejudice in it. Don't see it as evil, because there's even royal guards that can use dark magic. This is not like some evil spell. This is not dark magic for Demon Lord. But anyways, she's the only one that speaks up. The teacher's like, no, we cannot let this girl go. She might actually legit be level 99, and we can't let another kingdom get it. And even Yumiella says that at some point. She's like, yeah, what would that be for you, Prince, that you let a level 99 dark magic user go to another kingdom? That'd be pretty bad for your kingdom, because yes, technically she could fight with them against this kingdom. But no, the mage teacher begs her, please show us something of your skill. You're not showing your skill, right? And she's like, I need somebody to take responsibility. Is that okay, Prince? I'll fire it in the air. Is that okay with you? You can't do anything, but I need your permission. I need somebody to take responsibility. So he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll take responsibility. So she ends up creating this massive black hole way up in the air above this kingdom that's sucking in like the air around it, and anything that comes within its portal of this black hole essentially is just basically erased. Like, it's erasing the air in that area, and if anything gets into it, it gets erased. And then she finally stops, and the prince screams like a little girl. she literally walks up to him and is like, so what'd you think of that, Prince? Does that prove that I'm level 99? And she had this kind of little bit of a I told you kind of look on her face, which was kind of funny as well, because for the most part, she's mostly stone-faced. She's kind of a character that just doesn't want to get involved, doesn't really show much emotion. She's kind of like, just get away from me, whatever. I don't want to get involved. And then at this one moment, it seems like was like, yeah, I got to shove it in his face. Anyways, that's the story so far. I kind of wanted to watch a third episode, but I think I'm already kind of sold on the show. I think I have plenty enough here that I can really chew into to I guess give me a sense of where I think it can go. And that's what I always hope for to have when I go into my first impressions is I think that there's something here, and I'm also kind of connecting a little bit from the ED and the OP. It does look like this is going to be one of those stories where, yes, Yumiella wants to stay away from Alicia and the 3 love interests. She doesn't want to get involved, because if she gets involved, she will become this hidden boss. And the problem that comes is that, yes, that first mistake was putting her hand on that crystal and showing her level, because now, not only is there prejudice against her hair, everybody assumes that she's evil because she has essentially the hair color that the Demon Lord had, but additionally you're adding on to the fact that she's extremely powerful. And now, even though this teacher says this, and I know this is going to come back and bite her, even though the teacher says don't use prejudice against dark magic, there are dark magic users in the royal palace, they're still going to see black hair, level 99, and she's using dark magic. It's all going to culminate into, I think, everybody seeing her as being something that's evil. And plus, yes, she beat up the William, this good guy and everything. I think there's going to be a lot of hatred towards him. What I think's going to be happening, and what my hope is, that you have this story here of, the main heroine, which personally I don't care. And this will be my first kind of negative that I have on the show so far, is it did spend a little bit too much time telling us Alicia's story, when Alicia's story is cut and dry on purpose, a typical Otome game. I really didn't care, and it was spending a lot of time kind of messing with her when the juicy part of it was the later half, and getting in the second episode is our main character. But this other story is going to be the main character story, Yumiella, as she is dealing with essentially avoiding these individuals. It doesn't really apply, it hasn't applied yet any sort of flags that she has to avoid yet, like you typically get from a villainous isekai, but it's kind of getting that realm of, I just need to not be involved with them at all. It hasn't quite said why she's a hidden character. She doesn't say why or how her as a hidden villainess is kind of triggered, other than the idea that, like I said, that I like, that they're technically outlining why she was the way she was. So while it's not showing the triggers, it's showing her this other perspective that was never told in the story, which is why this daughter of the Dulkness family was so bad. Again, she was essentially pushed out into this house. Her family's been living in the capital, her parents. The first time she ever gets communication with them is to tell her to go to the academy to meet a boy and him be the heir to his family, while they're just messing around there. Even the prince calls the Dulkness family like capital nobles wannabes, basically. This idea that they're regional nobles, but they're living in the capital like they need to be there when they don't. They need to be back at their home. They're letting the governors and whatnot deal with that while they're just having fun with parties in capital. So even her family is not seeing really well. And again, adding the fact that dark magic and everything, there is a stigma against her that she's already fighting. And yes, through her actions and leveling up, now people are fearful of her, and probably that's going to create more hate. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to have, and again, based on what we're kind of seeing some characters here and there, is maybe other characters, which I think is the actual villainess, which I think is Eleonora. I think she's probably going to get involved with Yumiella. I don't know who this gray-haired guy is that they keep showing. Maybe he's like a nobleman's son or something like that she's going to end up meeting. But it does seem like she's going to have these characters that are going to kind of support her to maybe be a separate story. That might be fighting. I even have there's quite a few theories in the direction this technically can go, which I think is a really refreshing thing when you don't really see the actual route. You know that she wants to avoid everybody, but you don't know what she's going to be doing. I kind of wonder if it's going to be a case where possibly Yumiella is going to defeat the Demon Lord, because she already hinted at it. I need to level up. I think it's already hinting at that she might actually be the one that does that, or possibly get into, again, more the reason why this character was even the hidden boss. maybe get into that eventually at some point, because she's using dark magic, maybe she summons the Demon Lord, or maybe she's confronted for her magic to join the Demon Lord, and then maybe she used that opportunity to take them down. Maybe she sees that, yeah, Alicia isn't leveling up very well, and it might be because she's messing with things too much. She's already noted that she has changed the game, because when they all confronted her about her level, which wasn't in the Otome game, she pushed them to go talk to Alicia, and they all went there. And that changed the next day when they were all chumming with her already in class. They weren't that close to her already. So things are already changing because she exists in that world, and she's doing something that's technically changing the story. And I think what that might be, and yes, I'm kind of borrowing this from another show, another Villainess Isekai show. I think because she kind of shifted this stuff, because they got to her early, I think she's not going to try hard. Because they're already pampering her, she's not going to work hard to get stronger, in which point she'll start gaining their interest. They're going to pamper her already, and I believe she's never going to level up. That's my theory. Even though, yes, technically the professor and everybody, or principal, wants her to, nobody's telling her why she's there. Nobody's telling her that because of her light magic, she needs to defeat the Demon Lord at some point. The principal says it in a passing comment when she's not in a room, but nobody's told her yet. Even Yumiella, I keep saying Yumiella, even she notes that. She has light magic. It's the only thing that defeats the Demon Lord, but nobody's told her yet. Again, that's what I think is going to happen, and that's my theory where it's going to possibly go, but I do think it's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait for them to introduce the ringlets girl that was in the ED. I think she's going to be probably a lot of fun, and I think she's going to spice up the whole thing. If you ask me any other time, Yumiella is a character that I typically don't like. I don't like the character who is just kind of stone-faced. She's not like she's emotionless. It's that she just doesn't want to get involved. She doesn't care. So when you have these characters being overly emotional about things, she's just kind of like, yeah, she's that kind of character. But I like it more in the idea that it really does feel like it's that personality that I do technically like. When you have characters that are being emotional, she's the one that says, I don't give an F. And she's kind of like that attitude, like, I don't care. Whatever. You're trying to pull me into the story arc. I don't care. And she just doesn't want to get involved. She is just kind of there. And I like her. And I like that personality that she's already giving, because I'm like that sometimes, where if there's a lot of kind of people trying to pull me into something that I don't want to be involved with, I'll typically kind of just go, shrug, I don't care. Like, I'm going to go this way. Like, you do that thing there. You go through the motions of really kind of arguing about that. I'll be over here. It's not worth my time. No disrespect, but that's not worth my time. And she kind of gives that feeling to me, and I kind of really like it. I like that it's not mischievous. She does get a little mischievous at the end of the second episode, but it's not quite that. And I really like it for that. Her character so far has been absolutely sold on me, and I cannot wait to see more of her. So the rest of the characters are fine. Like, I don't really get too much out of all the love interests, but I don't really expect too much from them. Alicia is just too pure, which is fine. She's got that bubbly nature, and they really portrayed her well. I think the very beginning, even though I knew it wasn't going to be the actual story, the very beginning of the first episode, I thought she was a fun, bubbly character, so it was still entertaining going through that story. It's just the juicy bit's going to be Yumiella, and I cannot wait to see more of it, but it's got me. The not villainous, she's actually technically the hidden boss, the side hidden secret boss character that's super OP, that, again, doesn't want to get involved with anything. Will get involved with everything. They always have to get involved with everything, but other than that, visually, not that great. Especially like right the first scene, you get like the CGI horse carriages, which at this point I still don't know why studios think that looks good. Just again, show the side of the cart and maybe a background shifting. You don't have to show the horse and the guy on the horse. That looks terrible. A lot of CGI crowds and stuff, like the shot where she's telling the boys to go see Alicia, and literally Alicia's standing there and there's a bunch of CGI generic characters around her. It's like, who decided this? Who decided to use these here? It's visually not the greatest. I mean, every now and then they get crazy and do some good animations, but it's not the greatest looking, but it's fine. Like, it's serviceable most of the time. So anyways, that's my thoughts on Villainess level 99. Again, it says Villainess, but she's not the Villainess. Again, that was my theories. I think she's going to become the Villainess. Again, I think because of all that prejudice and she wants to get not involved, what she's already done is set it in motion. She's going to become the Villainess. But anyways, And it might be more of the fact that she might want to take attention away from the villainous character. That would be another cool thing as well. But anyways, I may be the hidden boss, but I'm not the demon lord. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure that like button down below, comment. Let me know what you thought of the series so far, if you're going to be checking it out. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button's got my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, I have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks, membership button down below. Greatly appreciate it, but it does. And y'all take care.